You know, before she went to therapy, she didn't really have anyone to talk to about these feelings. It was just a full on stress eater, afraid of getting fat. I mean, is anyone surprised that she's bulimic?
Nothing I did was working. The more I tried, the more out of control my eating became. Then, I did something I hadn't tried before. I became a savvy detective and figured things out. If I can do it, so can you. Find out more at solveyouroutofcontroleating.com.
Hi, welcome to Solve Your Out of Control Eating. I'm Michelle Holtzberger, a clinical social worker.
And I'm Victoria Todd, a child and adult psychoanalyst and an eating disorder specialist.
But in the virtual world, we are savvy detectives.
Who solve real life eating mysteries.
And we are going to teach you how to become savvy detectives too. So grab your detective cap, your magnifying glass, and your notebook, or better yet, share in the comments. So, Sherlock, what's our mystery for today?
The case of Bella, who is really struggling with bulimia.
Okay, well, here we go. Step into our virtual office, and you get to be kind of like a fly on the wall for our brief therapy session. And then please stick around afterwards. You'll hear our detective work and our practical advice. Now, here's Bella.
I'm sorry for calling twice, but it was hard to come.
But you made it.
Yes. I can't go on living like this. It's unbearable. But I'm afraid you won't be able to help me.
You sound worried.
I am.
Tell me what's going on.
Every day, I think maybe this will be the last day. Maybe today I'll stop and never go back. But I always fail. That's because I'm a stress eater. Nothing else seems to calm me down. Not reading, yoga, meditation, nothing.
Sounds like you've tried lots of things.
Yes. I get so anxious. My mom says I should talk to the family doctor and get some medication, but those have a lot of side effects. One of my coworkers took something and she swelled up like a balloon. So scary. I don't want to get fat. That's why I purge. It's so embarrassing. My eating is totally out of control. Every day I eat up all those sweets and then I make myself sick. It's disgusting. My bathroom smells like puke. My clothes smell like puke. Even my hair. But I'm just such an anxious mess.
Wonder what makes you so anxious, Bella?
There's some drama at work. A couple of women fighting over a man. It's absurd. But I don't really get involved in that. Me and my husband, Dave, we argue about the usual things: money, who's responsible for household chores, and sex. Right now, I'm dreading getting together with my in laws, and I hate going over there. But it's his dad's birthday, and I can't get out of it.
Tell me about your in-laws.
Well, the first time I met them, we went out to eat at a restaurant. I had this really cute red pencil dress on that buttoned up the back. This is really hard to talk about.
Take your time.
My future father-in-law, he snuck up behind me while we were in line and he said my dress was unbuttoned. And I know it wasn't. Anyway, he reached in and snapped my bra strap. Then he put his face near my ear and whispered, "Your boyfriend should be doing this." He had a big, creepy grin on his face. Every time I think of it, I get chills. Ugh, what a pervert. I was upset, and I went to the restroom and started crying. I wanted to puke. When I finally went to the table, Dave's dad kept staring at me and winking. He still does that. Like, what a fucking asshole. I hate him so much. He's nothing but an ignorant, alcoholic piece of shit. And I wish he would just die.
Did you tell your husband what happened?
She said Dave can't help if his dad is inappropriate. and to just stay away from him. I try, but he always comes creeping around.
But you didn't tell your husband?
No,
I wonder why not.
there was no point. I knew he would, I knew how he would react. In fact, he saw his dad touch me on the top of my head one day and said, "Hot, hot, hot." When I said something about it later, Dave blew his top, said his dad was just being friendly. What an ass. Who does that to be friendly? It was humiliating. I really can't believe that I married Dave after all this.
I wondered about that.
I didn't want to, but he relentlessly pressured me. He had sucked up big time to my family, and they all adored him.
So you felt trapped?
Yes, yes, I'm trapped. Every time I look at Dave, I see his dad. He just looks at he just looks like him. I can't stand for him to touch me. I'm always running away. That's how bad it is. I started going to psychics to find out about the future. Will I always be with Dave? Every time a psychic says no, I feel such relief. But it doesn't last, so I have to find another one.
What about that, Bella?
I want out, but I don't see any way that's going to happen. It would be a terrible blow to my family.
Wonder where you've gone, Bella.
My father-in-law says that to me all the time. Bella, you seem so many miles away. And I think, I wish I were a million miles away. I think Dave can read my mind because he gives me the dirtiest look. And then on the way home, he tells me how rude I am. There's no talking to him about it. He can't tolerate me verbalizing any anger. If I say anything, he blasts me with such rage that I immediately back down. He scares me.
But your anger doesn't magically go away. Wonder what happens to it.
I don't know.
Now comes the detective work. Let's see if we can figure out why Bella struggles with bulimia.
As always, I took notes, focusing on feelings to get things organized. But let's start with the family. Now, we don't know a lot about Bella's family.
Except that they adore Dave.
Right. And her mother sure wasn't too helpful.
No, the mother was not helpful when she told her about the father-in-law at all.
What did you think about Dave?
I think Dave charmed the family, but he was kind of a bully to Bella.
I thought so too. So interesting what she said about not being able to get mad at him or else he would blast her into submission. And lastly, what about the father-in-law?
The father-in-law, I agree with Bella. Being around him seemed kind of creepy. But let's hear from our detectives out there. Let us know what adjectives come to mind when you think of the father-in-law. Share them in the comments.
Now let's go through my list of feelings that Bella mentioned. Worried and afraid to be hopeful. Anxious. Embarrassed. Ashamed. Trapped. And enraged. And I do mean enraged.
Before she went to therapy, she didn't really have anyone to talk to about these feelings. It was just a full-on stress eater, afraid of getting fat. I mean, is anyone surprised that she's bulimic?
I was just so struck by the fact that she seemed unsure as to why she's bulimic when she came to her session. I think it's as clear as you do, Michelle. Then she shows so much insight, but at the end, she doesn't know what happens to her mad feelings. She can't hang on to her progress yet. But now she has a therapist to help her. Maybe the therapist will even have to be her memory for her, so she clears away some of this clutter and is able to remember properly.
Well, what we're looking at is out of control eating as a way to cope with all this suppressed anger. Maybe some of our detectives can relate to Bella's struggle, stuffing food down inside and stuffing mad feelings down inside. And maybe, like Bella, you can begin to let yourself know what's going on. If you need assistance, please check with your local mental health services. And, it's much easier to talk about these painful issues with the help of a caring professional. That's it for now, but there's more stories like Bella's to come. Be sure and give us a like and subscribe and even hit the bell so you don't miss a single episode. And if you know someone who's struggling, share this video. We're hoping to create a caring community where we all help each other. Vicki and I share these stories because we want to help others, and we hope you do too. And remember, keep searching for clues.